certainly some people still have this experience. I talk to my mom and dad. I have those experiences. I know now that I've heard Dumbledore explain it, that of course this is all in my mind, but why should it not be real? Yes? And so on. It's part of our souls being interconnected through time and space, I think, also. When I play golf at night, and I try to play golf every night, or at least two courses, I put my Oculus on, and I have a e-golf game that I play. I have 4 different courses I can play, and so on. I hear my dad telling me, "Good shot." You get the idea, right? Am I hearing voices? I know what I'm hearing is inside my head. And nonetheless, that I would still identify it as my dad's voice and my dad complimenting my shot. And I can even hear him criticizing his own shots and picture his face and how he behaved and so on, right, while he was doing that stuff. So the mind, pretty fascinating, and we'll be working on kind of what programs were installed over time as things went. Okay, so the 3 tests, methods, the exams, there's 3 of those during the semester. The 25% is the term paper, so make sure you start thinking about that. If you feel like that's an onerous task, begin now. Pick somebody and start writing maybe 150 words a day or something, and before you know it, you'll have 5,000 words. And by the way, you could always send me more. That's okay. More, not a problem, because I'm encouraging you to do this.
When is this due, by the way?
So if you look at the syllabus and you go down, you notice that hopefully I have the days right. Today's the 28th, right? And hopefully this is a description of what I've been doing right now. Even I mentioned all-you-can-eat buffet, etc. But as you go down this contract, right? Notice here's another link to the first exam. Take this link to exam 1, but October 2nd is when the first exam is due. Okay?
Is that's the 3,000 word?
No, that's test 1. The 3,000 word one is a final project, and that goes way down. Third exam due.
I was more referring to the quizzes.
Oh, those? Yes.
Yeah.
I prefer you to send those to me before next class.
Okay, so
So
basically
email me once you get a chance. I've
Yeah,
had
so
some.
basically, we have like a day or 2 if you want to do it early in the morning and cram it in.
No.
Hmm?
No cramming necessary.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
unless
I
you
was just
like doing that thing,
Yeah, I was just saying because we have a day to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll get better if you do. Which just somebody went Google 10 Commandments, boom, and they're done. That wasn't really a very good exercise for them, I would think, because thinking about this issue, how do you remember stuff? How do you know that you know stuff but can't remember it? What's going on? I think that's pretty darn intriguing. And moving towards narration is something that a lot of educators are trying to do, even in subjects like math and things where you wouldn't think that's even amenable to a narrative. Why would that be? Well, you get stories out there that explain, the calculus wars. How did calculus get developed? There was a competition between a lot of people while that was going on. Fascinating subject. That was Leibniz on the one hand and Sir Isaac Newton on the other, and they were aware of what one another was doing. They wrote letters back and forth to one another and to others. It's fascinating, and of course it explains why calculus was necessary. why it got to the point where you needed something like that. And that helps explain why we have the different types of mathematical things. You know, math, yes,
Sorry, is there gonna be a final? Or is it just?
the third test. So no,
Do we still come into class though on that day?
I would hope you would, but you don't have to. Because I'll still be trying to tell you why now is the way it is. Because I'm not finished. I'm still studying myself, trying to figure this stuff out, trying to keep up with what's going on. And lots of stuff are happening constantly. And thanks to the internet, you can follow along. Used to be that in order to be in the elite, you had to go to the elite school and talk to the individuals that were leading the current thought, right? And if you didn't meet them face to face, you didn't know what was going on. So you were out of the loop. But today, all those people are actively on the web sharing what they have with anyone that has any interest in finding out what's going on. And it's competition like crazy, trying to figure out who should I listen to, rather than what school could I go to where I might find out from the ones who are doing this current work. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You might not even need to go to school to keep up with all of this stuff, right? Because as long as you have an internet and have an idea of who you should be following and so on, right? Okay. So all those due dates should be on the syllabus. If the syllabus is screwed up, please give me an email or let me know, raise a hand or something, because I'm not perfect.
The term paper doesn't have a date.
It doesn't? Not even at the bottom down there?
It just says, like, it's between the 6th and the 4th there, it just says term papers due. They said date on it.
Okay. So yeah, within that time period, that's pretty close. I hope that you send the term paper in like a week before the finals, the third test comes in, because I do have to read them all. Even though I grade them first and then go and read them, I do go and read them, because this is pretty interesting stuff. And a lot of people say really interesting things. So I enjoy this. This is fun for me. And I'll learn a lot from you. What else? I didn't really get into philosophy at all, except for my interests. But if I go to this, notice that it takes you right from my current syllabus back to my webpage where I have my first notes, and I talk about what philosophy is. We did talk a little bit about that. But there is learning the tradition. There's several different ways of doing intro to philosophy. I try to do a narrative of our history. That's the approach I take. And so let me let you know, for next class, for those who read, if you're interested, we do have books that we should be looking at, and they're online. These are pre-Socratics, and you can look at those if you like. But the important one is when we get to Socrates. And the first, prior to next class, read the Apology. And that's my version, but you can go and read the Apology lots of different ways. In fact, let me take you to my notes for this particular class. And down at the bottom, I have all of these different dialogues. These are online. These are our particular translations, but notice that all of them are there. So the very first one, Apology, is the first one we'll discuss. Oh, actually, that's the main one we'll discuss, but the Euthyphro will be the first one I will actually lead into to explain why he was in trouble. Apology is often called the defense of Socrates. How many folks have heard that Socrates was killed? Had to drink hemlock. And there's a funny sketch by Steve Martin on this. It's not true at all, but nonetheless, it's funny. Why did his community decide to put him on trial and condemn him to death? Seems pretty stiff, yes?
There's a lot of people that were influential or in power that were tired of the youth questioning them and being agitated about their decisions.
Exactly. That seems to be the strongest. There are political possibilities too, because there was shenanigans going on between the different political parties and so on. But so the apology is out there. Notice that Apollo, how many of you have heard of the god Apollo? Okay, so Apollo is playing a role in the apology. Apollo, literally APO means of or from in Greek, and logos, where you get the LLO as order, where we get logic from. Yes?
Is that because Socrates relies on like that oracle telling him about himself?
And he hears a voice, by the way, and the voice mostly tells him what not to do. Don't do that. But he hears a voice, and he thinks of it as the voice of Apollo, right? So yeah, he's defending himself by saying Apollo told him to behave the way he's behaved, as you'll see in his defense. And what's also interesting is how many of you have given people apologies? Almost all of us, at one time or another. And so that's basically you're giving them the reason. It's kind of defensive though. So it's not just the reason, but so you're giving your Apollo is influencing your thinking still, if you think of it this way. By the way, all the dialogues. I can't even shut up, and there's only 2 minutes left. I should shut up. I should ask you if you have any questions so far. Yes.
So you want us to read the whole apology by Plato and then also do the Ten Commandments that we know?
Yes, please. Is that too onerous, you think, or is that doable? You're getting lots of stuff to do the first week of class.
First day, pretty much.
First day.
I might as well be Hercules.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm not Severus Snape assigning all kinds of potions to you. Do we have any Harry Potter fans? I'll quit with the Harry Potter thing. There's not that many to go with.
Keep coming.
Do some Tolkien ones. Tolkien.
Tolkien? We could do Tolkien.
Percy Jackson.
No.
Oh,
We do Greek mythology. Don't
That's not mythology, bro.
By the way, we have a department upstairs, and we have like a nice lounge area. We even have like, I think, a tea and coffee set up. Never seen anybody actually use it. Please feel free to come up and hang out. And after class, I'll usually hang out for about an hour for anyone that wants to discuss things, unless no one comes up. And in that case, well, I'll go home and play golf or something, What else is interesting? Please email me as often as you like. I kind of live on the internet. That's one of those fun things. Other questions? You guys having fun?
My brother took your class last semester and he spoke very highly of you. So
Why, thank you. Is he tall?
yes.
Then he's always talking highly. 'Cause
I actually did not catch that.
all right. Well, I'm all set unless you have questions for me. See you on Wednesday.
That's crazy.
Wait, you're kidding.
not this year.
No
way!
Philosophy majors rise up. Hey.
I'm doing high school sports.
So, I am recording this and I can post it, so if you miss class, hopefully you'll be able to watch it, not right away, but a couple days later.
Yeah, because I'll be in Seattle on Wednesday.
And the notes have the second quiz for the week, so you'll be able to see that ahead of time.
Okay, thank you.
So, thanks for letting me know though.
We have a question to discuss. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Should we ask it here or wait until you go up at the lounge?
I probably